This is my video review of the Kamvas 13 by Huion. I bought this from Amazon and I will leave a link to it in the description of this video. First impressions of this were really good. You can see that the box is sleek and professional, although I did struggle to open it slightly. First thing you see when you open the box is your warranty card. This has got their customer service details as well as the length and details of the warranty. You've then got the tablet itself. Mine is purple, but it's also available in black and green. There's also a screen protector included. When you pull this layer off, you'll see the matte protector beneath it. This is a huge plus for me as it's more reminiscent of paper than the glossier ones we're used to nowadays. The tablet itself is incredibly thin. It also comes with 4 rubber grips if you'd prefer to use it on a flat surface rather than with the included stand. Next up is the pen. This is the first tablet Huion have launched with a PenTech 3 pen. This means that the internal nib is about half the length of the nib on my current H1161 tablet, also by Huion. This makes it less springy and definitely feels more natural to draw on. As usual, there are 8,192 levels of pressure sensitivity, 60 degrees of tilt, and there's no need to charge the pen or put batteries in it. It just works by putting it to the screen. We then have the stand. This was included with mine, but it's also available as a separate purchase. I believe it's around £30 or $40. It's made by Huion themselves, and you can use it for any tablet that's 13 inches or under. I've also used it with the H1161 tablet that I mentioned, and it works just as well. It does come with instructions, except it's incredibly easy to set up, and there are 6 options for the angle depending on what you'd prefer. These range between 14.5 degrees and 45 degrees. I personally like it at the lowest angle because that's what feels most natural for me, but it's definitely nice to have the other options if that should change for me in the future. Prior to making this video, I'd never actually used it myself, but as you can see, it takes seconds and you're ready to go. As expected, it does come with a pen holder, and inside that you can find 10 spare nibs. I've not actually needed to replace my nib yet, they're incredibly durable, but it is very easy to take it out and replace it when necessary. Next up is the USB to USB-C cable. This can be plugged into a mains adapter either with or without the included USB extender cable. As I'll demonstrate later on in the video, you can then use this to power the tablet when hooking it up to either a Nintendo Switch or any other USB-C outputs. We've then got a fully featured Type-C cable. This is a 3-in-1 cable, and it's incredibly convenient as it gets rid of the wire carnage that we all know and hate. One end of it is USB-C, which plugs into the tablet itself. The other end splits into 3 sections. The red USB port plugs into either your PC or your mains, the black port plugs into the PC, and the HDMI adapter plugs into your laptop or computer's display output. This is the USB extender I mentioned previously. It's a really nice inclusion for if the standard one isn't long enough for you. The last included cable is USB-C to USB-C. This is used when hooking the tablet up to a Switch or mobile device. There are also some other really generous additions here. You get a drawing glove, which removes friction between your hand and the canvas for a smoother experience. I personally use this whenever I'm drawing, and it's definitely a massive help for me. You also get a screen cleaner to remove any grease or dirt from the screen, and finally there are instructions on where to download the drivers, as well as a quick start guide. Next up, I've just got a quick slideshow of images before we get into some videos of the tablet in use. First up are a couple of pictures of the stand at a 45-degree angle. This is slightly too high for me personally as I like to use both monitors at once, but I can definitely see the appeal. This is the tablet when it's been set up at my desk. You can see the 8 included hotkeys down the left hand side, which can be assigned on a per application basis. I mostly use them for undo, redo, zooming, rotating and panning, as well as Alt-Tab, which means I have 2 to spare, which is definitely a nice benefit. Here are a couple of pictures of the new and improved pen. You're not able to tell from a picture, but the new grip actually uses a more natural feeling material. There are 2 buttons on the pen itself. I have mine bound to the eraser and the colour palette, but again, these are customizable for each separate application as well. This is a closer look at the all-in-one cable. The quick start guide covers everything in here, but it's incredibly intuitive to set up. One cable goes into your tablet, the others plug into your PC, or if you'd prefer you can plug it into the mains with an adapter. One thing I haven't mentioned yet is the pressure sensitivity of the tablet. It's highly customizable in the drivers, although it is incredibly accurate out of the box, and I also didn't notice any issues with tapering on my lines, which is great. This is the part I'm sure you've been waiting for, peeling off the screen protector. Unfortunately I couldn't capture the colours too well on camera, but it is absolutely amazing. The tablet can represent 125% of the sRGB colour space, which doesn't mean much to a lot of people, but the screen's vivid and clear, which is what matters to me. These are some tilt and pressure sensitivity tests I did in Critter. It's completely smooth and there are no issues at all. Here's some videos of the tablet actually in use. One thing I've always disliked about screen tablets is the response time on them. I feel that Cintiqs are really slow and quite laggy. The Kamvas 13 on the other hand is incredibly fast and responsive, and this was actually the deciding factor when choosing this over another brand. These videos were taken after customizing the pressure sensitivity. A really great thing about the new drivers that Huion have made is that they support multiple points on the pressure curve. It's not something I've seen before, and it's definitely really useful to have as a feature. Finally, here's a video of the tablet hooked up to my Switch with the included cables. I didn't need to buy anything else to get this set up, it just worked out of the box. This is probably a good time to mention the screen and the protector. The screen is fully laminated, so there's no kind of parallax at all. The cursor appears exactly where you put it, and there's also an anti-glare layer included, so it's significantly less harsh on your eyes. The thing I've chosen to leave until last is the price. It is absolutely unbeatable. Screen tablets are often sworn off as only being for a professional's budget. I mean, for a Cintiq, with the accessories you're looking at what, £1,800? That works out to $2,500? The Kamvas 13 with an included stand is only around £270 or $330, and it feels more professional than anything I've used before. So yeah, that's the Kamvas 13 by Huion. To sum this up, this really is what I've been looking for in a tablet for years. I would have no qualms at all about recommending it in a heartbeat. If you've got any kind of questions, chuck me a message or comment on this post, I'd be happy to answer them for you.